it's a problem, you could say a subcondition of the modern world, where especially as adults get older, time appears to speed up. Now it doesn't. It's our brains that slow down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and it's a natural process. And I mean, if you look at family and the people around about, it's obvious that young people are able to do more than older people. And as you get older, you have to be far more selective with your tasks.
Mm.
And as my parents are now, I would say, very old, um, sometimes they have to limit their tasks to one thing a day. There's only one thing that they can do.
Mm.
Excuse me, very sorry.
Bless you.
Yeah, they thank you, sir. Um, uh, so yeah, and when you can only do one thing, um, you have to make sure that you prioritize very, very carefully. Like I've observed my mother recently, where if she has to call the bank to do something, um, that's her activity for the day. That's her one activity for the day. If she wants to wash some clothes, that's her one activity for the day. If she wants to do something in the garden, that's her one activity for the day. Um,
Mm.
and it's very, very, very hard to do anything else. And the modern world expects people to be super busy. And despite the fact that almost everything is automated. I mean, so so I watched my mother try to organize something with her bank yesterday. And banking is a really special area. It's a very special task because only you can organize your banking things. It's security, right? You know, maybe somebody else can help you with your shopping, but only you can organize your bank account. Nobody else can do it. You have to do it personally. You have to do it yourself.
Mm.
And for 15, 20 minutes, she was on the phone trying to deal with bots, robots,
Uh,
and automatic messaging systems and stuff. So and it's very tiring for her. It's really exhausting for her. And um, it's a system, and in general, a lot of things within the system are they they can be helpful, but a lot of them are not. And time flies. Time just disappears. It's if you if you've ever seen that classic film called Highlander with Sean Connery and Christopher Lambert, it's one of those. Everybody must watch this film. Um, and the character of Sean Connery talks about the quickening. He says, "This is the quickening." It's a, it's a concept that runs through all the Highlander films. Um, and the idea is that um, it's actually a map of what a lot of social scientists have called the singularity, which
mm.
is everything becomes one,
Mm.
which again was mirrored in the Matrix film, where art mirrors reality to a certain extent, and things appear to be faster. Things appear to be faster
Mm.
as we get older, and time is one of those concepts. Obviously, time is neither faster nor slower, but but days disappear very quickly, and it becomes very hard to even remember sometimes what what we did. Like ask anybody, what did you do last Tuesday? And if you've got a very organized work schedule, you can say, oh, I went to this meeting and I had these clients, and um, you know, Tuesday's my fitness class, or my I don't know what hobbies people have, whatever you do. It's like my my beer with friends night or something like that. And if you've got those habits, then you can sort of remember that point in time. But outside of that, it's really hard to remember. And the example of this is not the act, but the thought. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You remember where you were. You can sort of remember what you did, but what were you thinking? Right? And most people can't remember what they were thinking, especially if people are really, really busy with work-related tasks, because
Mm-hmm.
work is work is task orientated. It's not, or it shouldn't be an emotional process. It's like complete task one, complete task two, complete task three, complete task
Mm-hmm.
four, um, um, call somebody, travel somewhere, organize for something, check on something. These are very task orientated systems, and we can get lost in that. You know, ask a ask a machine, like, because when we do specific tasks again and again and again, we almost become a robot ourselves. It's the
Mm-hmm.
robotnik. It's the Czech, right? It's
Yeah.
the Czech
Yes.
term, a robotnik, worker. Um, and ask a robot what day it is. Ask a robot what time it is. Ask a robot how they feel. Ask a robot um, any important question, and you will not get a sort of human response. And the loss of time happens when we become robots, when we become just performing tasks in the system. In one sense, that's when time, or the time flies is a better way to
Mm-hmm.
describe it. It's interesting you said time flies, because I was um, I was looking at something on social media about 10 minutes ago, eh, and the post was time flies. So it's something, it's something that's relevant for for everybody, the, and it's a double-edged sword, because on
Mm-hmm.
one side, time flies means you're busy, you're doing a lot of things, you're active. Oh my God, where did the day go? Blah blah blah. Um, on the other side, sometimes you really, really, really want to lose time. Sometimes you like when you go on holiday and you don't know if it's Tuesday or Wednesday, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
If you're lucky, right? If you're really lucky, it's like you go on holiday for a week and you're like, is it Tuesday or Wednesday today? And you're not sure because you disconnect yourself from the concept of time and all those tasks. And that's essentially a good thing, because perhaps we shouldn't always be focused on this cycle of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And here's the other thing: life doesn't improve until you break the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
For life to improve, the circle that we live within, our circle of habits, has to be broken for life to improve. The same habits create the same results. And that's what we call sustainability. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not what we call improvement. And and so we we want to break habits in order to progress. Just like when people change jobs, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's an attempt to see what happens when we break the habit and we start a new cycle of things, and we see what else is available in other spheres, in other areas, and then we see that we see that the bigger world exists. Call it the world of infinite possibility, but the idea that time flies is something that becomes ever more important as people get older, and you lose your you lose your health, right? Physical first and mental second, usually,
Mm-hmm.
and um, and things just become much more difficult. Try running the same speed as children. Try
mm,
running as fast as children.
mm,
Yeah. Just if you're not a professional sports person, try running for 90 minutes and see how you feel, right? Yeah. If you're not a professional footballer, try, why do professional footballers stop at the age of, what is it, 35? You're lucky if you get to 40, right?
mm,
Only a few, very, very few professional footballers get to the age of 40 and still play. Most quit between 30 and 35. Why is that?
mm,
And you can't do it anymore. You can't run for 90 minutes. You just can't. It's so intense. It's really difficult. And so the the physical decline at first is very steep, and there's a there's a mental decline after that because you can't focus on everything and know everything all the time, and mindset matters. I'm a great believer in one task at a time. I think that multitasking is not for people. It's for computers.
mm,
Like my computer can do 5 things at one time, right? But I can't. At least not very well. You can set your washing machine to do your washing. You can set your, I don't know, your television to record something. You can download something on your phone. The technology can handle all these different tasks, but I think that people can't. It's a mistake. Um, like when you drive a car, the best thing to do is focus on just driving the car.
mm,
It's not to start thinking about too many other things, because we've all had that experience when the driving becomes automatic and we start thinking about what we're doing or where we're going or having a conversation with somebody in the car, and then we're like, oh my God, how did I get here? That was fast. Because we lose track of things in that sense. And so being aware of all those elements of time, um, and how it affects us, and work always wants us to do more.
mm,
There's no end of there's no end of responsibilities and tasks and jobs to complete. And how does anybody balance that? How do you balance what you are able to do with the infinite list of tasks that people get given in their work, um, to the point where a lot of people have problems switching off at the end of the day.
mm,
It's an art, when it's whatever time, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever time people finish, switching off. Can it is and is it a good idea? Is it a good idea just to turn your brain off from those things? Probably is, actually. Um, so yeah, time just goes, especially for busy and organized people. Time will always be not a problem. That not everything will always be achieved
mm,
for busy people. I mean, you can organize yourself and do more, but there's always a limit. There's the business world is always focusing on getting things done. Lots of books written about getting things done. How do you get things done? And yeah, it's always a question. The production of products, right? There's only so many products that can be produced in the factory on the production line. Yeah, and that's a that's a hard process to change. It takes a long time to increase production.